Hello, Jem Ayres, sex coach and sexological bodyworker, and I'm here to talk about a mixed gender course that I'm running on the woman's anatomy of arousal. So this is a 12-week course disguised as a book club because I get so many men ask me about how they can improve their knowledge and their education on the female experience of pleasure. Thank you very much. So I'm running this course for, if you're a woman, it would be helpful to learn more about your pleasure. And if you're a lover of women's bodies, it would be helpful to learn more about female pleasure. So for all genders and lovers of women's bodies, the woman's anatomy of arousal. So Secret Maps to Buried Pleasure. This is by Sherry Winston, a very brilliant author and sexuality professional and teacher. And this book really is on the bookshelf of all of my peers and colleagues and any kind of sexpert and sexuality teachers' bookshelves. This is the place to go. So it's a brilliant space, and the book club itself, is a brilliant space because what it is it gives us an opportunity to learn from each other, all the different genders learning together about female pleasure. Hurrah! So it's got brilliant chapter headings like an erector set of our own, looking at kind of female anatomy and erectile tissue and the differences between the genders in that. It also looks at energy magic and smart slut tricks. I love that. And then it talks also about kind of like the dance of yin and yang. So the dance of how we can be more open and receptive in sex, but also how we could be more fiery and dynamic in sex. So I'm going to read you some bits from this book. Oh, I've just opened the page to the stages of sexual learning. So whether you're novice, adept, or a master, there's something for you in this book. So, ignorance is the opposite of bliss, says Sherry. Not understanding this basic information on female pleasure does us all a manner of harm. For starters, and most obviously, it limits our sexual pleasure, leading to dysfunction and dissatisfaction. It causes people to feel inadequate, inept, or damaged. Relationships can founder on the shoals of the sexual problems that stem from ignorance and deficits in basic skill. When this lack of knowledge is coupled with the often unresolved and buried trauma of shame, sexual assault and abuse, it can compound the problems even further and produce woefully dysfunctional relationships accompanied by depression, low self-esteem and addiction and even violence. She goes on to say it's not just non-professionals who lack this information. This anatomy and sexuality information isn't included in standard medical training. I will read that again. This anatomy and sexuality information isn't included in standard medical training. So I think this book is worth its weight in gold. What else? So there's sections on things like looking at our pelvic floor muscles. That's going to be helpful for any gender, regardless of whether we want to focus more on kind of expanding our orgasm or maintaining kind of sexual pleasure for longer in sex, or maintaining erections, for example. There is pathways to pleasure and developing orgasmic proficiency. I love that. What else? Yep, I've already mentioned energy magic and smart slut tricks. I think that probably needs mentioning again. So anyway, mixed gender group working on the women's anatomy of arousal. Brilliant online space. It's 12 weeks and it starts Tuesday the 23rd of September. That's correct. Ciao, ciao. See you there.